Good afternoon. Today we're going to learn about Shakespeare early plays. I hope you're ready.
Something interesting. You know that Shakespeare died on his birthday?
Shakespeare's earliest play was The Taming of the Shrew. It was written between the years 1590 or no, I'm sorry, 1580 and 1590. Well, in this slide you will find many of other Shakespeare's play. If you want to read about any of them, you just pause the video and continue to read.
Hey, again, me. As my classmates already said, we have a lot of plays that Shakespeare wrote. We have a list right there, my left. You can pause the video, you can read the comments, you can read the brief information we got for you. I really wish that we had the time to go through all of the lists, tell you a little bit more about them. I can tell you a little bit about Romeo and Juliet, which you already know. We have many adaptations. We even have no more adaptation for Romeo and Juliet. Those are two families, two lovers. They both die, and it's the beginning in the stories for spoilers. Yes, Shakespeare tells us from the very beginning that there will be a dead couple right there, and we have them.
Hello, guys. So, we're gonna try to unscramble the story of Hamlet with this little mind map that we have right here. Hamlet, it's sometimes short for the complete title of the story, which is The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, because it was set up in Denmark, the story. So it starts right away with the death of King Hamlet. Yes, King Hamlet has died, so Queen Gertrude gets widowed for a moment, of course, because Claudius comes right away. Claudius, it's the uncle of Prince Hamlet, and he wants to marry Queen Gertrude so that he can become the next king. He does accomplish this by getting married to her, so Hamlet does not approve this relationship. He gets really upset. He gets really mad because his mom didn't even take the time to wait for his father's death or to have some time to forget about him, that she gets married right away. And of course, Claudius may have another intentions as well. So after this, the ghost of King Hamlet appears to Prince Hamlet, and then he tells him that he wants to get avenged. He explained how Claudius had killed him with poison, and that he now wants to be avenged however Hamlet wants to do it. So Hamlet, it's very like worried as well, because he says, is this the real ghost of my dead father or whatever? So he talks to Horatio, and then he says, okay, Horatio, he's another friend of Hamlet. And he talks to him, and he tells him, I'm going to continue acting mad so that they think I'm just worried about the death of my dad, so that they don't ask me anything else. But in the back, I'm going to be plotting a way to kill Claudius and to try to solve the situation about my dead dad and the ghost that appeared to him. Hamlet meets Ophelia, and they get really in love with each other. So Hamlet treats her really bad, and he tells her that he never loved her and that she should stay away from him. Hamlet finally decides on a way to find a solution for the death of his dad. So he decides to get a group of actors, and they set up a play. This play is going to happen in front of Claudius, and at the climax of the moment, it's going to be the main actor killing the king with some poison. And Hamlet, whenever he sees this scene, he sees that Claudius immediately leaves the room. So he follows him and he tries to kill him. But Claudius was praying to God, and Hamlet decides not to kill him. So he plans on another way of trying to kill him. So Claudius feels very insecure about He's staying in the castle, so he sends Hamlet, Rosencrantz, and Guildenstern to England with a letter. The letter says, "Kill Hamlet," and the letter is addressed to the King of England. Hamlet finds this out and he changes the letter. He says, or he puts on the letter, "Kill Rosencrantz and Guildenstern" instead. He comes back, and Laertes, who is Ophelia's brother and Polonius' other son, finds out that Polonius has been killed. Ophelia died out of love. She drowned herself, and he tries to fight Hamlet. So he has a poisoned sword and he tries to stab Hamlet. I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to spoil the ending for you, and I hope that you find this story very interesting as we have had, and also try to read the book and try to read the play because there are many other important things that I'm missing and that you may be able to find on the story. So until next time, guys.
Well, now 3 funny stories. We have the 12th Night. The 12th Night is a story for a love triangle. This love triangle takes place between first a twin. The name of the first twin is going to be Viola. Viola is working for the Duke. The Duke is called Orsino, and he asks Viola to do some task in order to get the love of Olivia, which is the third person of this love triangle. Olivia actually falls in love with Viola, dressing as a boy. But when the brother of Viola comes to the scene, which is Sebastian finally ends up marrying Olivia, and the Duke is getting married to Viola in this case. We have a second story. The second story is called The Merry Wives of Wisdom. And those merry wives, well, those two wives are treated by Falstaff. Falstaff wants to make some money out of those wives and write 2 letters. Well, one letter and the other one is a duplicated. So he sends them the same 2 letters. But somehow these 2 wives get to find out that it was the same letter, exactly the same letter that was sent to the other one. And they decide that they want to take revenge of Falstaff. So they take revenge. It's like a comedy play. So they play some jokes on him, and finally with the support of the family and husbands, they play some tricks on Falstaff, and that gets done. And the last play, it's called Troilus and Cressida. I'm sorry. Cressida, it's a woman who it's thought to be not like a prostitute somehow, because she uses her attributes as a woman in order to get men, in order to get to people to do what she wants. And we have the other character, which is Troilus. In this case, Troilus objectifies and idealizes Cressida in a way that whenever he feels that she is not being faithful to him, it's he wants to know what's happening there. This last play is taking place in a war, so finally nothing happens, and the war continues. This love doesn't happen anything, and on this one, no one is happy at the end.
And well, now I'm going to talk to you about The Taming of the Shrew. The Taming of the Shrew tells the story of these guys that try to marry Bianca. But Bianca cannot get married because her father says that before Bianca gets married, her older sister Catherine needs to marry. So these guys, I think that it is called Lucentio, ask this guy Petruccio to date and to marry this lady Catherine. It is a famous play because if you have watched the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, you already know the plot of this play, and I'm going to share with you. And I was really excited to discover that there is a manga that it's based on the Taming of the Shrew, and I think that that's amazing because, I mean, Shakespeare has been dead for centuries, and we still modify and find ways to adapt his plays on new platforms or in new formats. In the play, Petruccio, Lucentio, and I forgot the name of this other guy, make like a tournament in which they want to know which is the most obedient wife. So the winner is Petruccio. Why? Because he has just fed up Catherine with all his nonsense that she just wants to obey him, so she will be left alone. Henry VIII is another play that I consider really important because it tells the story of, well, Henry VIII. And I wanted to share with you that I have read this quote so many times regarding Henry VIII, and I just discovered that it wasn't in that play. That quote, "Every inch a king," appears in the play King Lear. It tells the story when Henry VIII divorced Catherine of Aragon and then marries Anne Boleyn, and then Queen Elizabeth is born. I wanted to include this even though I know it is not a whole play by William Shakespeare, but this is a fragment and it is the only surviving handwriting manuscript by William Shakespeare, and it is called The Book of Sir Thomas More, and it tells the story of Thomas More. But this play is kind of unique because it was created or written by many authors, many playwrights. So in this play there is a mob that wants to kill the immigrants, and then Thomas More appears and he says this speech. I think that it is great and it is still relevant today because we haven't learned how to deal with migration and immigration and all the things that are related to that topic.
Did you know that Shakespeare may have used one of those? Golden earring? They say so. And also that Shakespeare, although is known for his big variety of writings and all the writings that it's a really good amount, it's mostly known because his plays are still being, well, interpreted, adapted, and still played right now. I myself have played Romeo and Juliet. What about you? Have you?
And well, to sum up, I just want to tell you that William Shakespeare is still relevant today, and that's why he must be considered one of the greatest English writers in history, because we still find ways to adapt or to find inspiration from his text. And as I told you about the manga and about the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, and about this play in which he talks about migration, and even in the language we have a lot of sayings and a lot of words. Some scholars says that William Shakespeare used even more words than John Milton used. So I think that's why must read William Shakespeare. Thank you, and hope you like it.